say what you want, but that's pretty vicious. um, but like I said, this movie does have a lot of cool stuff, and I'm not gonna go really 100% into this, but I will show you one last particular scene that I thought was cool. I mean, there are a lot of cool scenes in here. Just these are the ones that I like the most. Um, this is basically Nicolas Cage. He gets thrown into jail because they blame him for these murders. That's the one thing that sucked about the movie that I didn't like at all, is that the villains in the movie, it they sucked. Like they died so quickly and so easily that it was just ridiculous. I mean, they had Blackheart, which is basically Mephisto, who's the devil's son, is trying to really kind of take over his dad's business in a way. And the devil doesn't want to have anything to do with that. He's kind of like, you don't mess with my stuff. This is all mine. And Blackheart recruits these elemental, like fallen angel kind of creatures that hide in the elements. They have earth, wind, obviously Ghost Rider, I guess, would be fire, and then water, stuff like that. The first guy the Ghost Rider pretty much takes out is earth, and he just whips him with the chain, and that's it. He's done. Then he goes after Wind, who kind of puts up a fight, but then in the end really doesn't put up much of a fight. He figures out how to kick his ass. When he fights Water, it's just ridiculous. He's like in a puddle, and he comes out after him, and he just burns him inside out with the pen and stare. And of course, like Blackheart and stuff like that. I'm not going to get too much into it. I'd rather have you watch the movie and come to your own conclusions. But the other thing that's funny is that in the movie, Ghost Rider can only really come out at night. He, in the presence of evil, when there's no evil around, he's just normal Nicolas Cage, well, Ghost Rider, Johnny Blaze. But when there's evil around and it's nighttime, he turns into the Ghost Rider, whether he likes it or not. Which is odd, because like in the new movie, well, I'll get into that a few minutes here and there, it's completely different. But in this scene, he gets thrown into jail because he's they claim he did all these murders, and it wasn't him, obviously. But he's in the jail cell with all these criminals and stuff like that, and he turns into the Ghost Rider because it's nighttime and he's with villains. And I just, like I said, it was just a pretty cool scene how they did it, and they actually show off his costume for the first time, which looks a little more like Dan Ketch's costume, which is probably why I liked it. But it's cool, take a look, and I'm sure you'll like it. And it also shows how the Ghost Rider just doesn't beat the crap out of you and call it a day, or beat the crap out of everybody. He chooses, the people. And also, I'm going to throw in one other scene after that, is just to show the Ghost Rider, because the bike can pretty much go anywhere. It can drive on water, it can, go up walls, which, thank God they got it right on this too. Just a cool clip. Enjoy the clip. See, like I said, cool scene. I like how the one guy was innocent, though, and he doesn't go after him, which was pretty cool. And I like the way how they did the flames on the going up the wall. But that's pretty much what I'm going to stop with the Ghost Rider, the first Ghost Rider, and really get into the Spirit of Vengeance. This movie, it was really cool, I'm not going to lie. I mean, it wasn't great. I mean, it definitely, just like the original one, it had its flaws. I mean, a lot of things aren't perfect, but you can't win them all. And it was pretty cool. It was a cool movie. I'm gonna throw a spoiler alert up there because there's a couple things you might not want to hear if you're gonna go see it. I did see it in 3D. I'm not a huge fan of 3D. I mean, I think it's cool, but they're just really overkilling it with everything in 3D now. I'm definitely gonna see Amazing Spider-Man 3D because that's gonna be cool. But this was worth it in 3D. The opening, like I said, spoiler alert. You want to go ahead if you don't want to hear this one particular part. They're going over like the retelling of the original Ghost Rider movie, I guess, because in the first movie, Nicolas Cage's father has cancer, and you've watched this episode, so you'll know what happened. But in the new movie, it's a retelling where the devil's called Rourke instead of Mephisto, so they changed that, and it's more like his father's pretty much just, I guess it's just his time to go. Like he's not really sick or anything, and Nicolas Cage, Johnny Blaze, basically doesn't want that to happen, so he makes a deal with the devil, and his father pretty much, they didn't really get too into it, but he dies anyway from something, and so on and so forth, and the devil makes him Ghost Rider. That's where it's kind of like a remake. Um, the sequel, like, part to the thing, like, well, the one part I was going to get into that I thought was cool was at the beginning, especially in 3D, they have, like, the Ghost Riders, they're telling this, enactment, I guess, of whatever it is, in, like, a comic kind of thing. They have the Ghost Rider's, like, skull, like, coming out and kind of doing a penance there over the audience, and then it focuses on you, which is just really cool how they did that. Another thing is directors are, I believe they're the directors that did Crank, so if you ever saw Crank, you know what you're in for. Do I think it's like the greatest movie ever made? No. It was really cool, but there's so many things in there that just weren't necessary. I mean, I was reading, my friend told me about it, and I went up and looked at it. Is Nicolas Cage was basing his Ghost Rider on this version after his pet cobra, which sounded odd, but when you watch the movie, you can really see why he based it on his pet cobra. It's like I said, it's a completely different Ghost Rider than it was in the first one. He's got a different bike, which is more like the old bike from the comics, which was pretty cool. His leather jacket, basically, when he turns into the Ghost Rider, it melts, which was really cool looking. Like, they had a bubble and everything, and, very cool. But like I said, the real difference in this thing is, like, they actually go over what the Ghost Rider is, which is Zarathos in the comics. They didn't really touch on it too much in the first Ghost Rider movie, but this one they kind of like really go into it and tell you what's going on. Basically, he was an angel that God sent down for justice, and apparently the devil catches him and kind of like warps his mind, like to the point where he just goes insane. And that's what the devil grafts to Johnny Blaze, is this demon Zarathos, who used to be an angel and so on. Another spoiler alert for anything is the basic plot of this is the devil walks among everybody as, a human, but he has so much power that he's got to kind of tone it down, because if he uses it, it burns out his body, and he's got to find a new one quickly. Like I said, the basic of the spoiler of the whole thing is that this lady makes a deal, has the devil's kid. Since the kid is half demon or half devil or whatever and half human, the body won't burn out like his other bodies. So the whole point is to get this kid and basically transfer the devil's full power into this kid, so the devil doesn't have to tone himself down. He can go all out if he wants. The devil hires like a couple, I guess like just mercenary kind of guys, and one of the guys turns out to be Blackout, which was really cool. They did him pretty damn good. I didn't expect it to be that cool, but I mean, Blackout, if you read the comics, like, he can decay stuff and turns everything dark and so on and so forth. Like I said, I'm not going to try to get too much into it because I don't want to really spoil it, but it was a cool movie. A lot of stuff, I mean, you really didn't need, it should have been left out. I mean, a lot of the scenes you're just like, all right, why are you putting that in there? It just, if you're a drug person, you're into drugs, then you should see this on meth or whatever it is you do, and you'll love it, because there's just so much things in there that would mess you up, I guess. But going into Ghost Rider himself, they kind of made him almost schizophrenic. Johnny Blaze, basically, he leaves his stunt career and gets far away from Los Angeles and Texas, wherever he was, as he can. He winds up in Turkey, just hiding, like basically hiding in the dark and trying to keep the Ghost Rider from coming out. If you thought in the first one he had overacting, you have no idea until you see the new one. But the Ghost Rider, like I said, they made him more like demonic. Like, they made him, I guess, the way he should have been. But it's funny because in the first one, the Ghost Rider actually talks a lot. Like, he actually has lines, and they actually have a whole thing. In this one, the Ghost Rider barely speaks. Like, it's maybe one or two things here and there, and that's about it. But it's more just like visual, and you'll see it. Like, Nicolas Cage when he's the Ghost Rider, he's like, waving back and forth, and he's doing demonic stuff, like, looking at you upside down, like just weird stuff. The one cool thing is that he actually, like, whatever he's touching, whatever he's near, like not just his motorcycle, he can turn with the Hellfire into something. Like, he gets onto like a crane, like I said, spoiler alert, and turns it into this massive, like, vehicle, I guess, and just uses it. It's insane. Like I said, I'm not really going to go into it, even though I have been going in a lot. I apologize if you want to see the movie. Is it worth seeing? Like I said, it is. It is pretty cool, and especially if you want to see the differences. There are a lot of differences. I mean, it was cool. I'm not gonna lie. Do I like it better than the first? Like I said, I really don't know. I mean, it's kind of iffy. It's one of those ones. It's just, you're just like, wow, okay, that's what they did. But other than that, like I said, I mean, it's worth seeing. It is worth spending the money to go take a look. That's pretty much it. Like I said, I don't want to really go full into the reviews. I'll probably do another review later on down the line. But I hope you enjoyed this episode. It's kind of lengthy. I kind of repeated myself a lot. What can I say? I get like that from time to time. But thanks for watching. I really hope you did enjoy the episode. I'm working on it. Like I said, the show is it's in transition, I guess. I'm still trying to work out all the kinks. Next episode, because it kind of would go together. Oh, another thing. Oh, before I go, another major difference in the Spirits of Vengeance is that the Ghost Rider, he basically kills you. He doesn't mess around, and the pen and stare is totally different. The pen and stare doesn't make you catatonic. It just basically just drops you. You're done, and then he winds up, spoiler alert. He winds up like whipping you with a chain or whatever, and you just melt. It's insane. So that's why I'm saying it kind of leads into my next episode. Hopefully if I can go into that, would be the Punisher, because in Spirits of Vengeance he's pretty much like the Punisher. But like I said, the end of Spirits of Vengeance is pretty cool how they did it, and it's definitely cool. Like I said, hopefully you'll go see it and enjoy it. If any questions or anything I missed that you wanted me to talk about, by all means throw it in. Like I said, I hope you enjoyed the episode as much as I love making it and going to see the movies. And I'll see you next time. I'll leave you with this.